Hi there guys, welcome to the beautiful country of Brazil. I don't know if you're a little bit confused. If you've been watching this channel for the last couple of months, you're probably used to hearing this guy here make the intros.
Welcome back to yet another episode on Strictly Flying.
Well, I hate to break it to you guys, but that is not a real voice. It's not a real person. That is indeed a computer generated voice. This right here, this is the real face and the real voice behind Strictly Flying. So I'm just gonna go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Andreas Bachmann and I am from Norway. I was born and raised in Norway. It was in October 2006 where I decided to move, and I moved to this beautiful part of the world called Brazil, and this has been my home ever since. Ever since I was a child, when I was young, we always traveled a lot around the world. My parents, they moved around a lot. They were working in the oil business, both of them. You know, I would accompany them, and I went to all these international schools. You know, we used to live in China, Indonesia, in the US, Angola. You know, for traveling as a child, I remember that I was crazy about flying. Every time I would get on a plane, it was just something magical. And the funny part is that feeling has never really gone away. There's still something about it, getting on, you know, a metal tube, just accelerating down the runway, the takeoff, you know, just the view of the world from above. Everything about it, just that magical feeling that, you know, that I had ever since I was a child has always stayed with me. I always wanted to document all of my travels, my experiences, not really to show you guys, not really to upload and show the world, you know, it's more for my personal experience. Because I remember as a child, you know, we always flew on the Boeings, the 747s. I remember as a child as well, the McDonnell Douglas, the DC-9s, the MD-11s, all of that, and they're all gone now, you know, there's all new aircraft, new designs. It's all, you know, all of these classics are gone, and I just regret so much that, you know, I didn't have my camcorder and I didn't record everything. And it was just last year I figured I need to start documenting this because I'm such an av geek, you know. I would love to sit, you know, 20 years, 30 years from now on when I'm all, you know, retired and old, and just watch all of these old classics, you know, when I was flying, you know, maybe the golden age of flying, or, you know, nobody knows how it's going to be in the future. But what I figured is like, how it is to fly nowadays is what I want to remember. I want to keep those memories alive. It was actually my first ever recording was done last year, and it was a direct flight from the city of Amsterdam to where I live now in Fortaleza. And this route was just brand new. It had only been operating for a couple of years with KLM. It was just something magnificent because in all of my years living here in Brazil, I had to make like a huge detour. I had to go down to Rio de Janeiro or Sao Paulo and have a, you know, domestic flight up to Fortaleza. And when KLM announced this direct route from Amsterdam to Fortaleza, it was amazing. And I figured maybe this is not going to be here forever. I want to document it, you know, I want to upload it to YouTube, and so I can have it forever. At that point I decided maybe I'll just make a channel out of it and let it go public, let everybody see and just see what kind of feedback I got. And surprisingly enough, you guys have given me amazing feedback. The channel has really taken off, and you guys really seem to enjoy it, which I think is totally awesome. I had never expected it. It was just like a small project. It was just something I wanted to test out, and the feedback I've gotten from you guys is absolutely fantastic. So thank you a lot for that. Now, if you're curious, you know, it's worth a look because you can actually see how the channel has evolved. But I'll leave a card right up here, and you should have a look because This flight here was the very first flight, the very first recording that I uploaded to YouTube. And it is a direct flight from Amsterdam to Fortaleza. And at that time, I just put on some music and a little bit of text, rolling text underneath. Nothing special, just really, really amateur stuff. After a while, the feedback from you guys and that you guys seem to enjoy it, I figured, okay, I'm gonna put a little bit more effort into it, a little bit more, maybe a little bit more information, personality. And that was when I actually found out that there is a program where you can actually make a computer generated voice. And I've heard about this before, but it really wasn't, I tested it out, but it was really bad, it wasn't convincing at all. But actually this program that I found was actually quite convincing, and the really amusing part about it was the feedback that I got from some of you guys who actually believed that this was my voice. And a lot of you guys would even, comment that, wow, your voice is so soothing, it's so calm, it's and I really had a good chuckle on that, and I didn't really have the heart or the courage to comment that, okay, this is not real, this is not my voice, so I just let it go. But I'm guessing like the majority of you probably know that, yeah, it is a computer generated voice. But anyways, the reason why I really haven't, presented my videos, personally like this on camera. I'm shy by nature, other vloggers, because I've seen them, sometimes on planes I'd be sitting like, yeah, my name is John and welcome to my channel and, this flight and such, just sitting like that in public with everybody looking at you, I'm way too shy to do that. So I figured computer generated voice, perfect. But what I figure now is, since the channel has grown so much, we already have over 650 subscribers, and to each and every one of you, thank you for that. My whole idea was to actually reach 1,000 subscribers, and then I would do, the big reveal, like this is the face, this is the voice, behind Strictly Flying. The situation right now is very complicated. I haven't been doing as, nearly as much traveling as I had wished to, and of course the result of that is not nearly as many videos uploaded to the channel as I would have hoped for. So instead of just waiting to reach 1,000 subscribers, I figured, okay, let's just make it a little bit more interesting every single video. There's gonna be a little bit fewer videos uploaded, but I figured I'm gonna make them more interesting. And I figured this is the way I'm gonna do my introduction for every single episode, every single video. And I'm hoping you guys prefer this way than the old way of having just a computer generated voice, talking in the background. But I figured this is the way I'm going to be doing the intros from now on. Hopefully you guys will like that. So that was my introduction. Let's just go ahead and start our flight report. My latest upload, it was a part 1 of a 4-part series traveling to Brazil from Norway. And for all of you who have watched, my channel for the last couple of months, or even since the beginning, you guys know that, because of the pandemic situation, I mostly fly with KLM, and it's between Norway and Brazil. And that is how it's gonna be for the next couple of months, or until, the world slowly starts to open up again, and, I can go on holiday elsewhere and make other flight reports on other airlines, other destinations, all that sort of stuff. But currently it's gonna be Norway, Brazil. It's gonna be like my commute. Actually, in this series here that I'm currently gonna upload, we're doing the first leg to Amsterdam, of course KLM, but then I'm flying with Air France for the first time, so that's gonna be interesting. So I hope you guys are gonna enjoy that. Now, if you haven't watched the first part where I flew just from Bergen to Stavanger, I'll leave a card here. It's worth a watch, because then you get the whole sequence of me getting back to Brazil. But anyways, if you want to have a look at that, you know, there's a card, there's a link, and I'll also leave a link in the description below, you know. In this trip report here, I'm actually flying the first leg from Stavanger to Amsterdam, and then Amsterdam to Paris, Charles de Gaulle with Air France. Now, I'm also going to show you all of the process that I had to go through before actually being able to board. I needed to do a PCR test and an antigen test. Now, the PCR test had to be done, I believe, 72 hours prior to boarding, and the antigen test had to be done just 4 hours prior to boarding, and the antigen test that was done at the airport itself. And before I start the video, I do want to mention one very important thing: the quality of the video, especially during the takeoff and the landings, is really poor. And the reason for that is, ever since I started this channel, I've been using this camera right here. This is my iPhone XS, the 10s, and it's done an amazing job, but I really wanted to up the quality a little bit, so I did go for a purchase of a brand new GoPro. However, these cameras have become so advanced. I received this camera just 2 days prior to my flight to Brazil, and it wasn't nearly enough time just to read through the manual and do everything. So the exposure's off, there's all sorts of auto leveling, you know, the horizon leveling. And with the acceleration of the aircraft down the runway, it thought that the horizon was kind of off, and like the whole footage was just almost ruined. So I did post editing, as you know, try and save as much of the footage that I could, but it is really bad. And look, I do apologize for this. However, when I did get to Paris, Charles de Gaulle, I had like I think it was around 6-hour layover in Charles de Gaulle, and I was sitting in the lounge, and I had plenty of time to really read through the manuals, and I finally figured it out how it is. So on part 3, my flight from Paris to Sao Paulo, which is, by the way, the Airbus A350. That's my first ever time flying with Airbus A350. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be a really interesting flight report. Okay, guys? So again, I do apologize for the poor quality of this first flight here to Amsterdam and to Paris. It is what it is, and I hope you guys forgive me for that. I guarantee you, and I promise, it's gonna be perfect from now on. I'm not gonna be talking anymore because I've been talking way too long. And again, I hope you enjoy, you know, the new channel, the new way of presenting, you know, the videos, the trip reports, everything. And feel free to leave a comment down below. If you like it, thumbs up. If you don't like it, thumbs down. If you don't like it, I'd love a comment of what you don't like about it, just so I can make some improvements, yeah? And also, please subscribe to my channel, because the more you guys subscribe, the more subscribers I have, the more motivated I get to make better content in the future. So that's really appreciated, guys. Okay, thanks a lot. Enjoy the video, and as always, remember, there are timestamps always linked down below, so you can jump straight ahead to whatever part that you like, you know. If you don't want to see the boarding, you want to go straight to takeoff, it's all in the timestamps below. Okay, you don't need to watch the whole video, everything. You can jump straight to the good stuff. All right, guys, enjoy. Hei.
Hei.
Tessa Express.
Ja, og navnet er?
Lite øyeblikk. Du har ID på en.
Har du ID?
Ja.
Virkelig.
Hva sier du?
Du betaler for Covid Express.
Ja.
Betaler du selv, eller skal vi sende kvittering til noen?
Nei, jeg kan betale her og nå.
Ja.
Du betaler...
Ja.
Yes.
Og får det gjort.
Ja. Da tar jeg testen før du betaler. Hvis du ser retning kvadrat. Der, ja, flott. Der. Veldig bra. Da var testen klar. Nå er det litt kø her på maskinen, så det går nok
Ja.
20 minutter.
Ja, ok. Men
Om vi bare skal sende, eller hva du vil. Eller om du har tid til å vente, eller...
jeg vet ikke om de godkjenner det elektronisk, eller jeg må vel ha det, jeg tror jeg må ha det på papir.
Papir, ja.
Kanskje jeg bare stikker den på kvadrat,
Ja, det
og så kommer jeg tilbake i 30 minutter, så jeg regner med at...
Ja, gjerne litt lenger. For da er det...
Jeg tror det tar så lang tid, altså.
Ja, det tror jeg nok.
Okay.
Ja.
As you could see, that went pretty straightforward. The only thing is there's apparently a lot of there's a lot of backlog. You know, they call it an express test, but it's gonna take at least, well, they said an hour before the results are ready. That's fine, you know, as long as I get it, and as long as, you know, the flight is confirmed for tomorrow anyways, so, you know, if I just get this test now, everything should be good. They will be at the airport tomorrow. I'll do this antigen test, and then we'll be ready to go. So that should be happy days. Okay, so I ended up arriving at the airport just about 2.5 hours prior to my departure, and surprisingly there wasn't a lot of passengers in line to do this test, so I actually had more time than I thought. But I mean, that's alright, that's a good thing. So what I'm currently doing now, I'm just filling out the form. You need to fill out a form with your all your personal details and your destination, where you're going, your flight number, all of that stuff. So I'm just currently filling out this form, and then I'm gonna go and get in line, and I'm gonna do this test, and we'll see how it all plays out. So at this point I shut off my camera, but you didn't really miss anything because the test was identical to the test that I did the day before, which I find is very strange, but I guess there is some difference. I have no idea. Ja. Klart. Så helt supert ut. Flott. Takk skal du ha. Takk.
Card, which is kept in the seat pocket. Please read this card carefully prior to takeoff. Please adjust the back of your seat to the upright position and fold away your tray table. For safety reasons, we ask you to stow your hand luggage in the luggage bins or under the seat in front of you. Smoking is prohibited on board. On behalf of KLM and partners, we wish you a pleasant flight.
So, just another sunny day here in Stavanger, Norway. Anyways, guys, so as you can see, the test needed to be done prior to your departure. The test that I did the day before was just a normal PCR test, which is the most common test required by most countries and airlines nowadays. And that test needs to be done within 72 hours prior to your departure. And the test that I did just prior to check-in was an antigens test, which needs to be done no earlier than 4 hours prior to your departure. So there's 2 tests needed. This is, of course, might have changed when I upload this video, but anyways, at the current date of travel, that was what I had to do. Now here you can see my pretty face, and of course this is my brand new GoPro camera, my fancy camera. Now I do apologize again for the quality. You'll see as we climb out into above the clouds into the sunlight, the exposure just gets blown way out of proportions, and the quality gets really bad. But anyways, enjoy the flight, guys.
Gentlemen, the fasten seatbelt sign will be switched off in a few minutes. However, we recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened while in your seat. And please be careful when opening the luggage bins, as hand luggage may have moved during takeoff and could fall out. And ladies and gentlemen, aboard of this aircraft we have 2 lavatories. The lavatory in front is for passengers seated in business class, and the lavatory in the rear is for all other passengers.
So service on board this flight is, as usual, pretty basic. I mean, it is the usual dry piece of cake, or in this case it was just a sandwich with some cheese and a drink of your choice. Now on the top right you will see a card appearing, and it's a link to another video, another flight report, the exact same flight to Amsterdam from Stavanger, but on business class. So if you're interested, later on you can check that out. I'll leave a link also in the description below so you can check that out. So unfortunately, a lot of this footage was just unusable, and you can see now the exposure is way off, and I tried to post-edit it, but it just turns the quality even worse. So I just left it as it is, and I just cut out the worst part. So I do apologize for that. As I mentioned earlier, I did figure out eventually how to manage the camera and the best settings, and I promise you that the quality in the next videos is completely different. The camera is awesome. The camera does amazing footage. It's just it's kind of advanced for me, and I just I had to take some time just to figure out everything. So anyways, just some information about the aircraft. The current aircraft that we're flying right now is an Embraer 175. It's currently just 4 years old, so it's quite new, this aircraft, and it is actually the smallest aircraft in KLM's fleet, and usually most commonly used between these short hops around Europe.
Passenger front if you move towards the exit. We wish you a pleasant stay, a safe onward journey, or welcome home. Thank you for flying KLM and partners. We look forward to seeing you on board again soon. Have a good day and goodbye. Dames en heren, welkom op de luchthaven van Amsterdam Schiphol. Wij hopen dat u een fijne vlucht met ons heeft gehad.
Thank you. So I had to run straight to the gate where the flight to Paris was departing from, and of course there was no time to visit the lounge. However, the flight to Paris was on time, and it was an Airbus A320, currently 12 years old. And yeah, let's get on board and check her out. My seat on this flight is 11F, and it's an emergency exit seat, so I got plenty of leg room. However, it's just a short flight, just over an hour. And once again, I don't know how many times I'm gonna apologize, but anyways, I do apologize for the very poor quality. You can see in the video footage, you know, it's just overexposed, and I'm still figuring out how to operate this camera. So sorry guys.
Pour le décollage, bon vol.
So, in-flight service on board this flight, just coffee, some biscuits and a drink of your choice. Nothing really to talk about. You can see the leg room here is pretty adequate, by the emergency exit, like it usually is. Yeah, that's about it. It's a short flight, just over an hour, so not really much to talk about. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoy that. Again, I do apologize once again for the poor quality. Now, just remember, in part 3, it should be uploaded in a couple of weeks. The reason why it's taking so long is because I am going back to Norway actually in a couple of days, and I do have a business here in Brazil. I also have a business in Norway. I am very busy at the moment, and because of the COVID situation, because I have to quarantine and all of that stuff, you know, it's just it doesn't leave me with a lot of time and a lot of, you know, resources to make these, you know, to edit these videos. So I try and be as effective as I can, you know, and I try and do my editing, you know, as soon as I get the chance. But it has been taking a lot longer than I wished for. But so my apologies for that. Things are going to get better as soon as this pandemic, you know, is over and things get back to normal. Look, we're going to be doing a lot of flying, and I'm going to be showing you all the good stuff. So thank you again. I hope you enjoyed this this part 2 of my series, and I'll keep you posted as soon as we're back to part 3, which is gonna be with the Airbus A350 with Air France. All right, guys, take care. Until next time, thank you, stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.